Hi, it's Adele Michael back with another More Abundance Live with Adele. And today we're going to talk about making magic. So it's spring here in the southeast, and we have had so much pollen. I don't know if it's record breaking, but I just don't ever remember this much pollen. So that means that everything's blooming. It's the magic of spring. And it's Easter and Passover are this coming weekend. So if you celebrate either of those or observe either of those, it's springtime. So let's look at magic. What is magic? One of the definitions is supernatural powers over natural forces. It also means to conjure or enchant. And it comes from the Sanskrit word maj, which means power. So I like to think of magic as your personal power. So if you have ever seen a magic show, you may go, how did they do that? Or if you see someone who really has everything that you think that you would like to have, you go, how did they do that? Maybe somebody who's really successful in your industry, or someone who has the relationship that you desire, or someone who has the money you desire. How do they do that? So I believe that there are 5 steps to making magic. The first step is desire, knowing what you actually desire. Now, a lot of us think that we want more money, and more money would certainly create more ease for a lot of us. But the money is just a vehicle for something else. So what is that something else? Do you want more creativity? Do you want more happiness? Do you want more love? Do you want more adventure? What would money get you? So the first thing is to be very clear on your desire. Because when you're in your desire, you're actually fueling the actions that you will take and the intention that you have for what you want to come into your life. So desire is really key. The second step is belief that you can have it. So if I look at a billionaire and think, oh, I wish I had $1 billion, do I really think that I could be a billionaire? Probably not. I don't really know what that would be like, or what it would do to create that much money. Maybe I'd like the things that go with it, the private jet and the private island and lots of people helping me. But that's not something I really believe. But if I believe something that's much more attainable, and I can get in a matching vibration with that, that's going to help bring it into my reality, which is what making magic is all about in my world. The third step is doing your part. So that involves several things. One is to continue to be in touch with the desire and be in touch with your belief that it can happen. And if you're like most of us, you have some nasty little voices in your head that might tell you you can't do that, you don't deserve that, that's not for you. So doing your part is doing the internal work of staying true to your desire and true to your belief, and it's also doing the external work. So I know I'm quite fond of doing energy work, and I've had to condition myself to do more of the outer actions, like making this video, letting you know what I have coming up. That it's not something that I can stay silent about and you know about it. I have to do my part. The fourth step is to recognize it. So I have noticed that life is very willing to surprise us at every turn. And it might give us exactly what we're asking for, but it comes in a totally different form. So I'll tell you a story about that. So about 20 months ago, I realized that I needed to leave the place where I was living. was an older property. It wasn't being maintained very well, and it was kind of going downhill. And I'd lived there for a long time, and I knew I was ready for a change. So my lease was up in maybe 3 or 4 months. And I thought, I've got to go. You know, I don't have to have a place to move to. I just have to be ready to go. So I started packing, and I happened, it's a really funny story. I happened to have a VHS video that I needed to have transferred to DVD. It was only 23 years old. I mean, I had not had it transferred in 23 years. And so I brought it to my video guy who had moved, and he happened to have 2 properties for rent. One, a guest house, and one, a 2-bedroom apartment overlooking a lake. Well, I fell in love with the guest house. I was like, oh my goodness, I really want to live here. Well, the guest house is small, and it's not big. It would not have been big enough for me, but I was really in love with it. And he said to me, are you sure you don't want the 2-bedroom apartment? It was a little darker. It wasn't furnished, you know. And I was like, well, okay. So I took it, and they renovated it and made it look gorgeous. And I've been living here for 20 months. So that was like, I was not expecting that. That was not in my vision. I never thought I would live on a lake. It has just been the most amazing experience because it's beautiful, it's calm, and it's perfect for me. It has a small kitchen. I don't cook much. Perfect. So that showed up as if by magic. I desired a new place to live. I did my part in getting ready for it. I believed that I could find a new place to live. The only other place I'd looked at that was suitable had a view of the dumpster, which that wasn't suitable. And, you know, this amazing property showed up, and I was the first person to look at it, the only person to look at it. And the person who had moved out 4 hours before I looked at it. So, you know, I really don't know how it happened, but I do know that those first 4 steps were key. The desire, the belief, doing my part. I was out. I was looking for some place to live, and I finally recognized it. My friends that have been there here, they're like, you can never leave this place. We want to keep coming to see you here. So I almost didn't recognize it, but I did. And then receive it. So after I moved in, it's such a beautiful place, and it's in a larger home on the lake. And I had never lived any place this nice. You know, it's like, do I deserve this? And, you know, over several months, I came to realize, yes, this was a gift to me from the universe, from life, and I receive it. I receive it. So that's my story of making magic. And the thing that I see with the people that I work with, the women business owners and entrepreneurs that I work with, is that we have 2 basic problems. One is knowing what we desire. So we may think, I want more clients, or I want more money. But what really do we desire? Like, do we desire to do our best work? Do we desire to interact with people that we really enjoy working with and who really appreciate us? So, what do you desire? And the second is believing that you deserve it. You know, I just talked about that. And the problem with not believing you deserve it is that you can't actually match it. And so you stay out of resonance with your desire, and they stay out of reach. So if you are someone who lives in the Research Triangle area of North Carolina, Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, are the main towns, I am offering a workshop about desires and deserving. And let me show you where that is. It's called Desires and Deserving, and the promise of the event is let your dream come alive. So we will be focusing particularly on what you desire and what you deserve, what you feel like you deserve, and raising that if that's not at the level where it should be for you to make magic around it. And it's on May 17th, 2019. If that's something that you would like to look at, please go to desiresandddeserving.com and you'll get all the information there, and you have the opportunity to register if you would like to do that. And if you're not in the Research Triangle Park, if you would go to my website, let's see if I can get this right, AdeleMichael.com, and at the top bar, go to this block, free consultation, and apply to talk to me. And I would love to talk to you about where you would like to make some more magic in your life. So that's it for today, and thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you next time.